Today we go over Star Wars Episode 9 when it comes to the character of Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren in Episode 9. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, by far, one of my most favorite characters in the Star Wars franchise is, of course, Luke Skywalker. Ever since being introduced to him in A New Hope, I couldn't get enough of the character. I always wanted to learn more, especially after the events of Return of the Jedi. Now, looking at the sequel trilogy, though we did witness his death in The Last Jedi at the very end on the planet Ahch-To, it leaves a lot of fans questioning themselves as to exactly what will J.J. Abrams be doing for the character in Episode 9. Now, we do know that there will be some sort of revelation for Luke in Episode 9, as well as JJ treating the character in a very special way, kind of adopting what Colin Trevorrow was originally going to do in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, there's a lot of hints out there currently that Mark Hamill could very well be getting some action scenes in this movie as the character of Luke Skywalker. Now, Mark is said to be training for a scene to be shot this October with Adam Driver as Kylo. Training will be similar to that of The Last Jedi and very physical. So this tells us that this could very well be a fighting scene between both Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, quite possibly. And the fact that the training is going to be very similar to how it was in The Last Jedi tells us that it could very well be a lightsaber duel, because we do know that Mark Hamill went through weeks of training during production of The Last Jedi before he shot his scenes for the big crate battle between both Kylo and Luke. Even though it was very, very short, it required some training for Mark Hamill to do. Not a whole lot, but it did require some. And this is honestly opening a lot of possibilities right now. Now, to me, the big two possibilities, if there is to be a lightsaber duel between these two characters, I think that they could very well do something around the lines of a callback to The Empire Strikes Back, where maybe Kylo Ren experiences a vision in which he sees his uncle Luke igniting a green lightsaber in a Sith cave of some sorts, or maybe in just a normal cave, and he goes up against a vision of Luke Skywalker battling him and eventually defeating him, or maybe Luke Skywalker defeats himself. Against Kylo. Maybe Kylo gets destroyed in this vision, in this nightmare, if you will. It could be a dream. It could even be something outlandish as a Force ghost wielding a lightsaber. Now, I went over this before in the past, and this actually was a thing in a video game called Star Wars The Force Unleashed. It was in the form of DLC. If you guys want to go ahead and look it up, type up Star Wars The Force Unleashed versus Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost or something like that. It is there in concept, and a Force Ghost wielding a lightsaber going up against a living human could very well happen in Episode 9. It seems as so that JJ is all up for doing crazy things, as we have seen before in the past with a lot of his projects, and I would not be too surprised if they did something like this in Episode 9. But nonetheless, it really does interest me that Mark is training for a scene to be shot this October, alright, with Adam Driver, and training will be similar to that of The Last Jedi and will be physical. Could this very well be a fight scene? It seems as so. I can't really think of any other reason as to why Mark Hamill would have to train, and how it's similar training to that of The Last Jedi, and how it would be physical. I mean, all those little hints kind of point to the fact that it could very well be an actual lightsaber duel once again. Now, if it's not a lightsaber duel, what else could it be? Possibly a Force duel, similar to what we saw in the Supreme Leader Snoke throne room, where Kylo goes up against Rey, and the lightsaber splits in two. It could be a regular Force duel. Maybe JJ is approaching the concept of a Force ghost, where it defends somebody such as Rey, and actually goes up against Kylo. And this is not out of question really at all. In fact, it was an original concept in the original Return of the Jedi script. Well, somewhat. In the original script, as I went over before, this also connected to how Luke Skywalker could very well come back to life if they really wanted to. But in the original script of Return of the Jedi, we had both Force ghosts of Yoda and Obi-Wan in the throne room confronting Emperor Palpatine, and Darth Vader, and apparently those Force Ghost spirits gave Luke the power to go up against Darth Vader and to help him out. They could do something like this with Luke in Episode 9, where essentially Luke is lending a hand to Rey in the background, and he's helping her defeat Kylo Ren quite possibly. That to me would be stunning. Of course, I mean, what everybody wants, or what a lot of people want, is of course Luke Skywalker to come back to life. That is without question. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.